This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, can someone confirm if my screen is visible?
It is.
Okay, I think the aspirants are complete now. So yeah. Just make a note of them. Just a moment. Okay. So probably we will have a quick introductions. People will speak about what are your aspirations to join this session, and probably then we will go ahead to speak about how we have tailored our sessions for you. So probably I would request Nilesh to unmute yourself, and yeah, you can introduce yourself and let us know your aspiration.
Yeah, so hi Raghu, this side Nilesh. So I'm working as a SAP APU consultant from last uh, and I had total 10 years of experience. Out of that, 8 years in SAP APU. So my inspiration to join PPDS is something I just wanted to get an exposure to PPDS, and to that onwards, my next inspiration is moving to IBP. So for the step by step, I'm just following. So I hope this will be helpful for me.
Okay. So we have two different sessions here. If you are aware, maybe my coordinator team has already explained you. We are of course offering the IBP sessions also, but it's a different program. But yeah, we also do, but it's a completely different, right? You are aware. Are you aware, Nilesh, already?
I'm not aware, but my first primary focus is of PPDS
Okay,
program.
sure. Right.
Yeah.
Then thanks, Nilesh, for your sharing your experience. So, which modules of experience you are working earlier? DP and SLP?
DP and SNP and partly on PPDS as well, but I'm doing it on ad hoc basis, but I don't have any much in detail knowledge of this.
Got you.
So I'm just exploring.
Okay. Then we have Vishesh with us. Thanks, Nilesh. Vishesh, can you hear us? I'm sorry, Vishesh, if you are speaking, your voice is not that clear. Could you speak up a little louder? Vishesh, are you with us? Okay, speak up. I'm sorry, your voice was not reachable to me, Vishesh. Could you give another try? Vishesh, can you please give another try? Vishesh, I believe you have any challenges with your audio. No, no problem. You can still use your chat option to communicate. Okay, that should be fine. We will be able to see your responses. Okay, so I will go forward for the further discussion of how we have completely tailored our sessions. So I believe my screen is visible and audible. My voice is audible, right? So I'm continuing. Right, Nilesh? Can you
Yes.
acknowledge?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes, Raghu.
Right. So the whole sessions they are classified into three important aspects, right? First one being the gap analysis, followed by training content, followed by user stories. So let's speak about each of them. So gap analysis being the first step. So probably we will understand about uh, what are the important prerequisites we need to know. Maybe we speak about the architecture wise, what are the few important things. What are the quick wins a client would achieve when he uses PPDS or advanced planning, and what are the different say the requirements, like probably when we are going to configure the systems, is it for ECC or S4 HANA, what are the things which we should follow about. All of those things, other disciplines, what we should know about will be followed under this gap analysis sessions. Followed by the next one being the training content. I believe my coordination team has already circulated you with a Word document which briefs about the training content. Is that yes, Nilesh? You have received the document for training
Yes,
content?
yes. Yeah.
That will be the same where we will brief about each of them. But as I mentioned, before we really jump onto the training contents, we would firstly know about the length and breadth of the topics using this gap analysis discussions, and probably then we will deep dive into the topic. That's the training content. Then comes a very useful aspect, that is user story. Now, you come with your already SAP experience, so you already would have realized that there are different planners who are involved in the whole supply chain planning. So there are different planners daily who are involved. So especially in the context of production planning and data scheduling, it has a very close contact with the execution system. You know that. So there are multiple different planners who are involved. What are the different use cases? What we are going to understand, how the process of manufacturing is going to be affected in the context of planning. All of those things fall with the different pain points, and trying to relate the different methodologies what we learned in the training content. How are we going to say adopt them, or how are we going to fit them into the problem statement comes to a user story. So you have a problem statement. How are you going to resolve it with the learned techniques and methodologies is what your user story is all about. Right? Problem and the solution from it. Hold together as a user story. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay. So we need to also ask another question to ourselves, that why advanced planning? So what is something it still makes an efficient tool even in this new era of products of SAP, right? You know that like SAP has bought SAP S4 Hana, it has bought SAP IBP, right? So in spite of bringing up this two new tools or two new products, I would say, into the market, what makes it to drive still PPDS to be part of it? Because of some very important features and significant characteristic what it consists, that which is not replaceable yet with SAP, that makes it to be the part of SAP S4 HANA also. Now let's try to understand what are those. But before I speak about it, probably I want to know uh, what are few things what you're aware of about PPDS. So maybe you can unmute yourself and you can speak about it. Why SAP S4 HANA PPDS? What do you say? Thinking in the client perception, or you say, or maybe as a planner's perception, you say, what are the things you feel that could be the reasons? Yeah, over to you, Nilesh.
So whatever I understood that S4 HANA is more efficient, having add-on features on the previous version of the PPDS, and it's a cloud-based. We are not really going to use live cache here. So, and apart from that, there is not much interface with the ECC and the APO which we did earlier. So interface is common here. So this is what, and yeah, what's important, we can handle it with the, we can use it to the field, yeah, when, as per the, it's a user friendly.
Impressive, yeah. Very good points mentioned, no doubt. Yes, I'll go from the bottom, right? So we can still add a few points. So firstly, speaking about data transfer issues. So we know how the APO world it was, right? So ECC and APO is two different boxes. And whenever it is two boxes, we all know that there can be some disturbances or there can be some inconsistencies in the place. So that is of course minimized. We will speak about the architecture when we go further into the details. We realize that okay, the architecture is much more improvised, how they were able to improvise, what are the different steps they have considered. And yes, that's a very important achievement, I would say, for SAP, that still can promote for the clients for the new implementation and also for the older clients to move to the new product, right? So there should be still some uh, some benefit, you can say, right? So what makes the client to still move to the new product? Of course he sees some benefits out of it, right? Of course. And yeah, supporting of theory, yes, that's also a very important point. So there are specific theory applications with respect to advanced planning which are usable. Of course, we still have the other theory apps also which can have a great significance in the context of SAP S4 HANA. Yeah, that's also a very good point.
So will Fury will be a part of this training because I have not yet used it, so I'm not aware of it. So I just wanted to know if
So
we have
theory,
something related to.
are you asking to see how a theory app looks like in that to that context? You mean supporting a theory if in the training point of view, or
Yes, yes, exactly.
okay? So you know that this is an IDS system, or the demo system, right? So probably we would see, for sure, of course, we can see the theory apps, but they are not that significant effective because in our real-time production environment or maybe a quality or development which are which are managed, I would say, with the client, it has a complete data synchronization and data is being connected to a respective system. But here, for a look and feel and how the system, how the theory app should be used, that thing is okay. But probably you may not be able to execute all the functions in a theory app. I have to be very fair enough with that because end of the day, it's still an idea system, right? Right, Nilesh?
Yes.
But of course you will get that awareness about okay, how a theory app looks like, what is the transaction should I use to, in order to go to theory, and all those things. Of course you will be able to still do it from the system which will be given to you. Hope your question was answered. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So yes, S4 HANA is giving us two different options or versions, I would say. Either it could be a cloud or on-premise. We all know that the upcoming times it is more about the cloud, but still if the client wants to insist that he wants to use an on-premise, he can still use it. But most of the inclinations towards the new implementations, it would be for cloud. But do you have any idea why there's so much of buzz, or you say that the cloud has been a very oftenly here technology nowadays, right? So what's your thought process, Nilesh? What would be the different advantages client would get if it is going to go for cloud? You have any idea?
Mm, First thing, what I feel is maintaining a server and all things are very difficult uh, and uh, and not effective in terms of cost wise as well. But cloud based is a more effective and we get very good support. I'm not sure with my answer, but yeah, this is what my understanding is. So
It is
we'll
true.
get.
To what extent you
Mhm.
have explained, it is true, no doubt. And yes, I'm going to brief you about few of the important advantages. More, of course, in we deep dive into the discussions, right? Because that awareness will also help you to speak up to your client when you are speaking. Okay, you have that awareness. It's expected. So those essential topics will be part of our gap analysis, no doubt. And yes, the first point, effective. So why it is effective? Because of minimization of transfer issues, because of huge the significant development what they bought using S4 HANA. So HANA is our own database of SAP, right? Earlier it was Oracle, that. So probably in order to drive the data, they have to, again, the commands of ABAP still have to be converted into the SQL and all those things. But now it is, you can, people also refer S4 HANA as in-memory processing, right? You know about this term, in-memory processing?
Yes,
You've
yes.
heard about it? So instead of doing a or I would say that instead of doing uh, duplication work, it can be minimized probably with the help of this HANA database. So that's another advantage. Of course, we are speaking more about how the HANA database is different from the older one. What are the different, the significant changes it brings onto the table, which we further deep dive. So all of these are very much important points. I would say yes, what you have mentioned, they are true, but it's not an exhaustive list. So they are further other points, like I would say interactive planning, minute level of planning. Any idea to what extent the planning can be done in PPDS? Nilesh, Vishesh?
As far as I know, it's related to product planning and capacity level planning.
Okay, I'll tell you the minute level planning. What I mean is it can do the planning till seconds. So what does that really mean is, so I want to speak about a term called MAD, which is material availability date. Imagining of production, which is a huge process, giving you an accuracy of the time at a seconds level is, it is sufficient, right? Milliseconds doesn't really, it matters, right? Seconds is enough, sufficient enough, right? So just imagine, probably if I maybe the efficiency of my MAD when it comes from PPDS, probably it says, hey Raghu, you need this order, probably you'll get it by 30th of May 2022 by 11:50 and 30 seconds, let us say. Do you expect much more accuracy or much more details in this? No, right? Can I say that for sure? Isn't it? Because I'm going to the
Yes.
scrutiny of seconds level, right? So that's the significant, that's the minute level of planning what PPTs can achieve for us, right? So
Hmm.
this is one of the another important advantage, which is irreplaceable so far even, that makes PPTs to be the part of S4, right? S4 HANA also. So you have prior experience with S4 HANA working, or you are new to S4 HANA completely, Nilesh?
I am new to
New to.
this
Okay.
S4
And the
completely.
reason why
Yes.
we pick these questions is just to make the sessions more, interactive and also
Yeah.
tailored for experience, right?
Yes.
So please bear with the
Yeah.
questions, which will help us further to know about your experiences, right? Okay. So this is the way how we have planned our sessions, I would say, Nilesh. So probably once we start with our discussions, we'll start as I mentioned with the gap analysis first, probably with the training content then, and then the user stories. So where you are going to be the part of the user stories, you are going to think about, okay, how this problem statement could be solved, and then we are going to help you, which also brings us our experiences into the process of learning.
Okay.
Okay. So any other questions for me, Nilesh? I should mention the duration. I will do that. It's 30 to 35 hours. And why it's not a fixed number, Raghu? Because the gap analysis discussions, it varies from every aspirant. So I don't give it as a fixed number. It can also sometimes increase much more than 35 hours, bear with us, but I'm sure this will help us to get some more time on some other additional essential topics also, which can be something which comes to your experiences or maybe with your client discussions as we progress in the sessions.
So, will I get something about the implementation part, how these are getting implemented and how, not a real time, but how somewhat brief about this, because I'm
The
going to be
gap
new in
discussion,
this.
gap analysis point of view, yes, we will speak about generally how the work
Mhm,
processes start and all.
mhm.
Yeah, that would be the discussion. It will be under the gap discussion, right? Because it's about a project,
Yeah,
so it will falls into a gap analysis. That would be on a request basis. What I mean by on a request basis is it is nowhere mentioned in your training content, right? So probably when you come up with the questions, probably we will additionally bring those topics for discussion. But if you say
and will this training will be helpful for us to go for a certification?
I'm sorry, can you please repeat?
My question is, will this training will be sufficient to appear for the training, I mean, certification as well,
Okay,
or does it require any further effort?
okay. To be frank with you, so certification is a different program altogether. If you if you have not took a certification earlier, so the process of certification is it's like you have to undergo a few essential book reading, okay, or we say that undergoing through a manual reading process and then going to the mock test. We also take that, but of course, currently it's not planned. Probably we'll let you know. My coordination team will let you know when that the program for certification is going to happen. So you want to take it for S4 HANA Advanced Planning Manufacturing. So for that, you want to take the certification. Is my understanding correct?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So that is a different program, but this current program will help you to understand, get that awareness. Okay, what is when you are going to the books, so you need to also understand what does those lines mean to you. So probably that awareness will
Mhm.
of course it will be sufficient for you when you have undergone this program, Nilesh.
Uh,
Hope I got your question answered.
yes, yes.
Oh, okay, great. Any other questions to me, Nilesh, before we call off for the day?
Uh, yeah, nothing. If you could just brief about yourself, how you're doing and where you are been,
Mm.
in this industry,
Sure,
about your
Nilesh.
experience and all. Yeah.
I have been with SAP for more than 17 years now. I have worked for different industries, just to name a few. Worked for
Mm-hmm.
chemicals, life sciences, mining, rope making, automobiles, for construction. Um, yeah, these are the few industries which I can mention, which I have been a contributor from
Okay.
SAP. I have worked for SAP
Mm-hmm.
APO implementations, especially for GATP, PPDS, and DP,
Okay.
and partially SNP also for implementations, rollouts, and support. But of course, I was more into
Mm-hmm.
the implementation parts earlier. And of course, now currently I'm a solution architect for SAP S4 HANA with advanced planning and ESPP and IBP and SAP Ariba. So these are the few areas where I'm currently focused on. So that's my background. So I have done my master's from IIM Bengaluru with supply chain management and logistics. So that has inspired me to join SAP. Yeah, that was the reason. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, that's it from my side. I don't have any question for now. So
great.
just look forward to
Sure.
the
So
sessions.
our coordination team will get back to you. So if
Sure.
you still have any questions, feel free to reach out to them. They will do take care of
Yeah.
your questions. Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you.
So what suits means the session, like it will be on a daily weekdays,
It
or
would be on weekends,
it will
no
be on
doubt.
a week.
It would be on weekends. The time will be they will disclose you the time when it would be.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm, mm, mm. Okay. Sure. Sure.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you both. Bye.
Bye.